I'm Michelle McVitie, child life specialist and family consultant. I'm here to help you on your parenting journey because children do not come with a manual. Are you preparing them or are you protecting them? I'm going to help you start preparing your children for life, especially those moody, sensitive kids. Why are they so moody? I mean, they're kids, right? What's the big deal? Get over it. Your life is so happy. You get to play video games and go to school and play with your friends. If you want real problems, kids, I will give you problems. Is that what you're thinking? And you've probably said it, if not out loud, in your head. Yes, it is true. We tend to think as adults, what is their problem? Well, that's because we're thinking like adults. We're being very rational, and children are very emotional. And I'm not talking about one emotion, I'm talking about a bunch of emotions all at once. So it's like this globe. So if we think about emotion like this, it just spins and spins, and it's tons of stuff. We don't think clearly, we don't act clearly, and when we are in this snow globe of stress and big emotion, we don't really make good choices. So when things start settling and when the sparkles start falling to the bottom, that's when we're thinking a little bit more clearly. But what we tend to do is that we're expecting that a child that is in the middle of this flurry of sparkles is able to make good decisions, and they're not, because they have all those emotions going on at the same time, and emotion makes you act a certain way. So you've got a child that's already kind of moody, and that is sometimes just our temperament. It's just who they are. Maybe you had a sibling or a parent that was kind of like that. Maybe your partner was like that. Ask them, does this ring a bell to you? Do you remember feeling this way? Because some of it is just genetic. They're just moodier. The whole magical thinking, remember when they used to believe in everything magical and everything was wonderful? Well, as they start getting older, that goes away. So they start realizing everything around them. They are sensitive to things around them. They are not as happy because there's not so many things to be happy about. And because they're sensitive, they're more likely to pick up on other people's energies, other people's problems. They go to school, they pick up on the kid next to them. The teacher's in a bad mood, they pick up on that. Someone forgot their lunch and that kid is in a bad mood. Now they feel bad for that child. And it's all those things all at once. And again, when you're explaining this is what's happening. So when you think about big emotion, it's the swirling glitter in your head. And what can we do to help calm it down? Because what we tend to do is throw rationale at it, and it's really frustrating for a child to be told, stop doing that, calm down, I told you not to do that, and there's a lot of shaming and blaming in that. So in that moment, what do they need? Ask them what they need, and then they can practice. Practicing is really important, and I've got some really cool tools that I can show you that will help with the practicing part. So this is the quiet spot. I created this for younger children, and it's good because it gives them some options, but not so much that they're going to get overwhelmed. Of course, you can add more Velcro spots, but the point is that they can come in, and when they are at a 5 out of 10, they can pick something that's going to help calm them down. So maybe they're going to blow bubbles, and then they're going to put that in their spot. If they're still not feeling calm, then they can do something else, like read a book. Maybe we've got music on here. There could be different options, and I've got many different options as well. But keeping it simple calms them down a little bit because they don't have so many things to think about. It's not overwhelming. And again, these are things that we've practiced, that we've decided with them, and then we're creating a space where they can practice these things. And when they are feeling like a 5 or an 8 out of 10, they can go to their spot and they can use their positive coping strategies to calm down. So here's another version for older children, and I've left these bubbles open because maybe they'd like to add their own ideas. And all of these options are up to interpretation. What does this mean? This could mean a hug. Bicycle ride could just mean going outside and doing something active. listening to music, or even singing, noticing nature, or actually going outside to hug a tree. What this is an option for your child to do things that are helpful instead of unhelpful. You want to talk about these things, come up with some ideas ahead of time, and then put this part of their routine so they can help turn the volume down on their stress. Because when they have a lot of emotion and when they're constantly at a 6 or a 7 out of 10, it doesn't take much for their heads to pop off. So doing these things are going to lower their stress levels, and especially if they're a little more moody or more sensitive, they need more of this, and their threshold is going to be high. It's not going to be as high because they were already at that high point. So what can we do to turn it down even a notch? And these are some things that you can do with them or things that they can practice on their own. So I hope you found that helpful. And again, it's taking it one step at a time, giving them an option and practicing every day. When bad stuff happens, when things come up, when, their moodiness gets tough, then we pull on these tools. We pull on these things that we've practiced. It may not work in the moment. We want to try to catch it before it gets too bad. But every day when you do good things for yourself, then your thermometer is lower and your head is not going to pop off so quickly. But just know it's part of who they are. It's part of their temperament. So part of that is acceptance, but also that your children need more skills, and we have to teach them those skills because they are more sensitive, they are more moody, and sometimes it's just us tolerating that they're not always going to be happy, that they're picking up on the things around them, and to be sensitive to that as well, and a little more empathetic. I hope that was helpful. Reach out to me if you need some help. That's what my personal parenting consultations are all about. Check out my website at momthemanager.ca. Take care.